Beneath the endless blue, there lies another world, a world we were never meant to see. It is silent, ancient, and hidden, but it wasn't always so. Once, these plains were forests. Once, these valleys rang with human laughter, the crackle of fire, the rhythm of lives unfolding. Now, they are lost beneath the sea. We think of the ocean as eternal, but the seas we know today are young. Barely 10,000 years ago, they were hundreds of feet lower. Across continents, the great melt of the last ice age drowned entire worlds. Archaeologists call them submerged landscapes, but to those who once lived there, they were home. This is the story of the real lost civilizations beneath the sea. Not myth, not fantasy, but the true history of the worlds that the ocean took, and the science that's bringing them back to light. Imagine standing on a green plain where the air smells of salt and pine. The year is roughly 10,000 BC. The last great ice sheets are dying. Their meltwater floods the rivers of the world. What began as a trickle becomes a surge, a planetary tide that rewrites the face of Earth itself. In the far north, glaciers retreat and release torrents that roar into the Atlantic. In the south, coastlines fracture and shift. And in between, human communities, small, fragile, yet ingenious, watch as their world begins to sink. One of the greatest of these lost regions lay between Britain and Europe, a vast fertile plain called Doggerland. For thousands of years, Doggerland was alive, home to mammoth hunters, fishers, and gatherers who roamed its rivers and marshes. It stretched from what is now eastern England to Denmark and the Netherlands. It was not a myth, it was real, and it was enormous. Today, that same plain lies beneath the North Sea, a graveyard of lost rivers, peat bogs, and tools entombed in silt. In 2025, scientists at the University of Bradford revealed one of the most detailed simulations of Doggerland's last days. By combining seismic scans, ancient DNA, and sediment cores, they recreated the moment when the sea broke through, a slow-motion apocalypse. The data revealed not a single cataclysm, but 1,000 smaller drownings. Villages erased one tide at a time. To the people who lived there, the flood must have seemed like the will of the gods, a punishment, a mystery, a sorrow. But to us, it's a window into how civilizations die and how they endure in memory under the waves.
Off the coast of modern-day Egypt, in a place once called Abu Qir Bay, lies the drowned city of Thonis-Heracleion. For centuries, its existence was only a rumor, a name on fragments of ancient papyrus, a whisper in Greek legend. Then, in the year 2000, underwater archaeologist Frank Gaudio and his team made an extraordinary discovery. Beneath the silt and murk of the Mediterranean, they found a city, perfectly preserved. Massive temples, statues of gods and kings, ceremonial boats, jewelry, and coins, frozen in time, sealed by mud for over 12 centuries. This was Thonis-Heracleion, once the grand gateway to Egypt before Alexandria even existed. It was here that Greek traders first met the pharaohs, where myths and commerce intertwined. But one day, it vanished. Not to war, not to fire, but to the sea. Geologists believe that a series of earthquakes and soil liquefaction events caused the city's foundations to give way. The delta's saturated ground, soft clay rich in groundwater, simply could not hold. In a single night, much of Thonis sank. Temples slid sideways. Streets disappeared. Thousands fled inland, never to return. South of the Greek mainland, off the coast of Laconia, lies a small bay that locals once thought was nothing more than a shallow reef. In 1967, oceanographer Nicholas Fleming noticed something strange. Lines beneath the waves, too straight, too deliberate to be natural. When divers descended, they saw it clearly. Walls, courtyards, streets, and tombs, a complete city lying just 4 meters under the sea. They had discovered Pavlopetri, the oldest known submerged city in the world, dating back over 5,000 years to the Bronze Age. Unlike other sites claimed by myth, Pavlopetri was mapped stone by stone. Researchers from the University of Nottingham used digital photogrammetry and 3D scanning to reconstruct its entire street plan. What they found was astonishing. The city had roads, multi-roomed houses, a central square, pottery workshops, and even a complex drainage system, evidence of urban planning centuries before the rise of classical Greece. This was not a fishing village. This was civilization. And yet, it too was lost to the sea. Rising waters and earthquakes along the fault lines of the Aegean slowly pulled it under. By around 1000 BC, Pavlopetri was gone, its people scattered, its name forgotten. But here's the wonder. The sea preserved what time would have destroyed. Wood rots, cities burn, empires crumble. But under the silt, Pavlopetri endured, a silent city of ghosts, waiting for light again. To walk these streets now, even in diving gear, is to walk the boundary between past and present, between what we were and what we might still lose. Doggerland, Thonis-Heracleion, Pavlopetri. 3 worlds, 3 stories, 1 pattern. The sea gives, and the sea takes away. But they are not alone. Beyond the Indian coast, in the waters of the Arabian Sea, lies another legend, one long dismissed as myth, until science began to listen. In the western waters of India, where the Gulf of Combat meets the Arabian Sea, there is a story, one older than memory, older than empire. It speaks of a shining city built by a god and destroyed by the sea itself. This is Dwarka, a place where mythology and archaeology collide. According to ancient Hindu scripture, the Mahabharata, Dwarka was founded by Lord Krishna, a divine ruler who built his capital upon the western shore. It was said to be made of gold, with towering gates and palaces that glowed like stars. And then, one day, the sea rose and swallowed it whole. For centuries, the story was dismissed as legend, a parable of faith, not fact. But in the late 20th century, marine archaeologists from the National Institute of Oceanography, NIO, began to find something extraordinary. Off the modern town of Dwarka, they discovered massive stone blocks, arranged in geometric patterns. Walls, foundations, and steps cut with human precision, lying 12 to 36 meters below the surface. Carbon dating of artifacts and wood fragments suggested ages between 7,000 and 9,000 years old. That would make them older than Egypt's pyramids, older even than the cities of Mesopotamia. A "wait, what?" moment for science, because if confirmed, Dwarka could be one of the earliest known urban settlements on Earth. Critics cautioned against premature conclusions. They argued that many structures could be natural formations, sculpted by tides and time. But the evidence continued to mount. Pottery shards, anchors, beads, and inscriptions that hinted at organized human life. In 2023, new sonar imaging revealed even more detailed structures, right angles, room-like divisions, and platforms aligned with ancient tidal lines. Marine archaeologist Dr. S. Badri Narayanan once remarked, "We are seeing the traces of a lost coastal culture, swallowed by the ocean as the Ice Age ended. The mythology may be poetic truth built on real memory. It is tempting to dream, to imagine Krishna's palaces gleaming beneath the waves, their golden towers dimmed to silence. But whether divine or human, the truth remains the same. The sea remembers what we forget."